Hi, I'm Brad Knowles, producer of Friday Night Flies, hosted by Scott LeBoldis and Scotty Holmes. Enjoy the show.
Oh, that was pretty good, Scotty.
What?
I was like, the show's got to go on.
Jeez,
I haven't behind that place. It's starting. So
I haven't been here in weeks. Throw me in cold cock.
Just bring it up just a smidge in that bottom camera, and then people gotta see what you're tying tonight, there, Scotty.
Is that it? You
That's
got her
it.
there?
Yeah, it's a nice tease because I'm gonna zoom in a little bit.
Why? Because it's only half of it.
Well, no, it's in the middle. But anyhow, it's been a while since you've been on the camera, Scotty. A lot of our loyal fans have been like, "Hey, where the hell's Mr. Boulder here?"
Yeah, I seem to have
Where's he
gotten
been?
shit from Mr. Mooney.
Yeah,
So I'm here, bud. I'm here. Yeah, so welcome to Friday Night Flies. And Brad showed us a great steelhead bliss fly. It's going to blow your mind. It's going to take over this year. I know it.
because I know one thing. You're going to try your best to improve on it already.
No, I don't think I'm going to improve on
Oh,
it.
you are so homers on it now.
Everybody else is trying to do improvements. I don't think it needs any improvement this time.
Oh,
So,
thanks.
there
I'll
you
take
go.
that as a compliment.
Yeah, there you go. I
Coming
think
from you, man, I'll take that.
I'm just going to start tying color variations.
Yeah.
And
Hey, if you guys don't know what we're talking about, go over to our YouTube channel, Friday Night Flies, and
Check
the
it
last
out.
fly that we're gonna have a bunch of flies tonight. So check them out.
so yeah, it'll be the latest updates.
That's right.
On our YouTube channel. Stick around. In a couple days we'll do a little refresher Facebook post for you with all the links to
The
website and the individual patterns. So it just takes us a couple days to get all, because we got people from all over BC now. It's fantastic. The Friday Night Flies family's growing. It's not just the permanent boys anymore. Yeah. So Friday Night Flies. I'm Boulder. We're tying this. Looks like a White Wulff.
What is that? Let's go down.
It's kind of a White
We're
Wulff.
gonna go down there right now.
This is since kind of like the same with you and your steelhead poor man's version of a spayfly.
Buddy, that's all it is.
This is the poor man's version, or the mountain boy's version of a White Wulff. We don't always have all the materials. Can't just zip out down the street to the store in the city and get exactly what we need. So we need to kind of come up with what will work.
Don't bump the camera. Or whatever.
So this is tied off of the White Wulff, which is one of my favorite dry flies. Last year I was using it predominantly all year. I was using this thing. Awesome
Open
fly.
your shirt up for 2 seconds there.
So-
I just want to see. Yeah, there it is.
You want the
Lose-
purple?
Yeah, lose the gray.
So what was making the dry or the White Wulff a wolf? It's tied by Mr. Lee Wolf, and he has a whole series of colors and stuff. I just know the White Wulff particularly well, but it's supposed to be calf body for the tail and calf body for, let's see if I can get it looking like it. This thing's gotten beat up. Ethan was playing with it and admiring it. There you go. If we turn it this way, you can see it has a split up wing. So that is traditionally supposed to be done with calf. And then the hackle is very specific on a White Wulff. It's supposed to be done with a badger hackle, which is a light colored or ginger colored hackle that has a predominant, really dark, almost black strip down the middle on the vein. I don't got that. Tried to get it. Ain't coming for a while. I wanted to tie. I needed to get on the show. So we substitute. We use elk hair. It floats. It's going to do the same thing. Doesn't work so well for the upwings because it is too fragile. That's where the calf comes in handy. But for that wing, we're going to use polypropylene floating yarn.
Polypropylene.
Or what you would use for your post flies, for like your atoms and stuff like that. So we're going to use that for the wing. So is this fly going to work just as good? Hell no, it's going to work better.
That's right. That's what we're talking about.
It's going to work. Drop. Boom, I'm dropping it. We're going to get in there.
Friday Night Flies twist, ladies and gentlemen.
There we go. So that's how we do it. Friday Night Flies, new and improved, substitute pattern or materials. As you're doing it more, and a lot of people always kind of ask me because we got one of our new guides. He's just starting to tie. He's like, well, how do you know? And you're like, you just start experimenting and you learn. And you kind of look, okay, dry flies use deer hair. Why? Why do they use elk? Why? Because they float. They're hollow. And so then you can start substituting all that kind of stuff into different patterns. And like, there's if you put this and a White Wulff next to each other on the water, there's going to be no difference. Other than mine's going to float better because it has the synthetic floating yarn.
The white fancy yarn.
I could say polypropylene, but I'm going to say for now on. So, we got our size 10 dry fly. That's about as big as I make this, and then I usually go down to maybe 14, yeah. 16 starts getting a little tiny for doing upwings. It's a bigger fly. The Wulffs have a bigger profiled body. They're chunky, they're meaty. That's one of the reasons why I like it. Like Brad, I like flies that catch big fish.
That's right, a mouthful.
Yeah, we want the hungry mothers. So, you get your thread on there. I'm using 8/0, nice and thin for your dry flies. So you're not bulking up. Don't go to 6/0. Use your finer diameters. Wrap it back to the back there. Just a nice simple little base thread. I will take it right back to where the barb is, so that's usually in line with the bend. And then we're going to come back up to halfway on that wrapped section, so half of the hook point. We're going to take a section of our floating yarn. We're going to loop it underneath, get it right up on top, and I'm just going to do just 2 wraps to hold it there. I'm going to put it on a little bit of an angle. I'm going to grab that other post and move it up to the other one, pinch them both together and trap it. And now I want to wrap this stuff in on top, nice and tight. You know, it's going to roll a little bit on you. That's all right. Just move it back up there because we got a lot of work to do on this upwing. So I'm wrapping forward to now 1/4. So I'm just splitting that difference. That's it. Don't take it right up. I want room to put a good hackle wrap in front. So once we've done that, pull your post up. Some good tight wraps right underneath that post. Make a little dam. This is going to help post it up, as they say. There we go. So that's keeping that right up. So you can see they're split like this right now. I'm just going to get these. Now it's not going to, but I'm going to get these positioned on both sides. And now you're going to take these and treat them as if each one of them is a post. So you're going to wrap around, and you want to do a good, I don't know, probably 10 wraps. So I'm doing 5 or 6 going up. And you'll see a little bit clearer when I get to your side. And then I'm going to wrap back down, just like you would be doing a vertical post on an Adams. And then again, I'm going to pull these back. I'm just going to put a couple dams in front. I'm going to come in between them. And now I'm going to do the one that's in front of you. And don't worry, I will twist this around so you can see. And this is probably the really tricky part. If you put too much tension, you're pulling too much, your wraps will just wind off. If you don't have enough tension, then you don't get the post right. So it does take a little bit of practice. You know, I'm doing it pretty smooth right now, and I'm going to tell you, I've just tied off 12 of these in the last 2 days. That's not a lot, but I've done a little practice. Yeah. And definitely my first 2, whoo, I was cursing. Kept pulling too hard, had my tension bobber that I got from Stonefo here set a little too tight. All right, so let's see, we'll give you a little twist. So you can see we got the post wraps there on the baits. Now they are pretty far apart, kind of like an adult damsel. So we're going to tighten these up. So you're going to go and post around both of these a couple of times. I'm going to get a couple of wraps around there, and then I'm just going to kind of pull towards myself and get a little tighter so that I can get these exactly where I want them, which is right there. So now you can see the difference. Now they're standing straight up. There's your post. That's the tough part. I'm going to come back, and now we're going to start building this fly. I'm just going to put a little bit of a dam in behind that post. I don't want it shifting. These flies are notorious for getting hammered and chewed on and last a long time, so I want this thing to be kind of bomb-proof as much as I can. So we've gotten back to our tail section. We're going to put in a bit of a tail. You could use the poly yarn if you want in the back, but I'm trying to keep it looking like the original Wulff as much as I can. So I want that natural hair look to it. So I'm going to come to the back here. I'm going to take off a nice little clump. They have a pretty substantial tail on them, on Wulff patterns. If there's any that are sticking way out, you could always drop this into a hair stacker if you want. I kind of like that I have a couple longer ones, but I just kind of minimize it. So there we go. I got one or two that are a little bit longer. Not a bad thing. Now this tail, the majority of it is going to be the length of the hook shaft. I got that one that's bugging me. I'm going to get rid of it. Boop. There we go. So we'll measure it up, transfer, and we're going to tie this on right on the top. Now because I'm using elk, I got to be a little careful with these first wraps. Otherwise she's going to splay like the back did there. So once I get it on, then I can pinch these fibers and I'm going to wrap that forward until I get to where that post ended. Just tighten all that down. Now we can clean it up by just slipping our scissors in on top. Boom. And just work your way around and get rid of those little taggy butts.
Give me a moment to throw in a thing here whenever.
Yeah, that's a good time. Go for it.
Okay, so we just.
So yeah, I'll just clean up the base here, and Brad will take you out to our little sponsor. Thank you.
Friday Night Flies would like to thank the following sponsors: Superfly, Solarez, Chinook Wind Outfitters, Dr. Slick, Griffin, Stonefoe.
Okay, we're back.
We're back. All right there, guys. So I just kind of cleaned up this a little bit. We are going to be using dubbing and whatnot, so it's not too big of a deal. But I like a clean underbody to work with. So to make this a little bit bomber, and here's another little addition from the Friday Night Flies crew, is we're going to do a rib in this one. And I didn't bring my little scissors tool. You got
I
got it right here. You got some shitty ones? Thanks.
Repellers.
We are not using the Dr. Slicks on the wire,
Nope.
but we will use the anvils. Okay, so we're going to put a little French wire in here. I'm going to try and trap it underneath the fly as much as possible. It just helps to keep the weight distributed proper, and wind it all the way in. There we go. Beautiful. So we got a little wire. I'm just trying to make it durable, because this fly, like I said, I want it to just get annihilated by fish. So we got that on. We're going to build up a little bit of a body here. So I'm going to, and this is true to the actual pattern. So we got some light colored cream rabbit hair. And I'm going to just get her on there nice and thin. Just twist on a little dubbing noodle. Shorten up my bobbin here a little bit. Now I'm going to start getting that on there, and as I work towards those up wings, I'm going to maybe start getting her a little thicker. Be patient with it. Little bits go a long way, rather than trying to bulk it on there all at once. Oh, now the part that we need to be careful of is to get the look of the Badger Hackle. I need to keep a couple of wraps free right behind this post where I'm going to put in a different color. So because I only have a generic ginger hackle here, so there you go. So you can see I got a pretty big profile. So like I said, I have only a ginger hackle, and to get that characteristic look of the Wulff, I need that black center, so I am going to put some dark dubbing around that post before I do the front hackle, and that'll give you the same look. So we need to leave that space there so we don't overcrowd. So that fine wire goes up as a rib, just helps to bomb-proof it, helps to keep that body all together. A couple wraps, get rid of that tag. Thank you, Ethan, for the assist. And we're going to go to a hackle here. Now you can do these by measuring them out and stuff like that. I just give it a little bend and kind of tell. You know, if you have a little bit of a bigger hackle, whatever, it's not going to
I've got a hackle gauge here.
Ah, that's all right. You know what a hackle gauge is? Right there. Boom.
Bunny.
Oh, look at that. Right on cue. So what I'm looking for is that hackle is about the same length as the hook point. All right, so I'm going to come to the back. I'm just going to gently open these up. And you see how we have a pretty consistent and then all of a sudden fat. We're going to get rid of those back ones. So just find that little spot and pull that stuff off. And I'm going to tie it in so that the underbelly of the feather is facing me. And I'm just going to tie it in on the side. There we go. Right in behind that post. Get rid of that tag. Now, to create the illusion that I have a badger hackle, we made some black. So I've gone and used, you could use rabbit. We'll talk to the camera here. But what I've done is I've gone to laser dubbing. Decided to add just a little bit of flash in there. Why not, right?
And it's synthetic, so it doesn't suck water either.
That's the other cue. So we already got enough absorption happening with the natural rabbit. So we got that nice black going in there. A couple wraps in behind. Need a little bit more. There we go. Now the back stuff, you can leave it a little bit looser. The front, you want to be careful with it. You want to go pretty sparsely because I don't want this hack or this dubbing here to crowd the eye of the hook too much. So I'm going to be a little bit more careful with it. Nice tight dubbing noodle there. There we go. So you can see we got it right in there. Bingo. Any of these little fibers, you know what, just stroke them back, give a couple loose wraps there. All right, now we're ready for this hackle. I'm going to do a good 3 or 4 going up in behind. I'm going to grab my, you know what I'm going to do before I do this? Is trim those up wings so that I don't lose my hackle. So I'm just going to pull this back, put them both together, and I'm going to trim it just at the length of the hook. Whoop, there we go. There goes my 2 up wings. If you do it after, they can be a little long, and then you run into maybe cutting off all that nice hackle you just put on. There we go, that's better. 2, 3. Make sure you don't trap those fibers from your nice wings you made. 4. Come to the front, nice and tight to that feather. Now this is when I'm going to start really kind of pulling everything back, making it nice and tight. I want a good 3 or 4 in front. No, 3 is going to fit today. Bring your hackle right up to the top, trap it. Bingo. Off it comes. Couple finishing wraps there. And now I'm not going to wrap like crazy in there, and with my dries I am really liking using the half-inch tool instead of a whip finish, because it just pushes everything right back off that fly. I don't usually use a lot of head cement. This is one of the Stonefo. Really nice. Comes with 3 different tips that just convert in and out so that you can match it with the different eyes.
You can just use a ballpoint pen too. Like take a pen apart.
Pens work. This one is very similar. Why I like the Stonefo tool is that it's versus a ballpoint pen, you got a nice long tapered cone, and I have replaceable tips. So I can do this with a big salmon hook. I can do it with a size 18 dry fly if I want.
Yeah. No, it's definitely nicer, and it comes off that hook a lot better.
Yeah, it just slides off like butter.
But if you don't have one of those beautiful tools, you can definitely use a
that's how you start, right?
Yep.
And on the back of most bodkins, there's one as well. You'll notice there's a little hole on the back of yours. That's what it's for.
Yeah.
So, that's it. There is your bastardized version
See how Scully is really tapered?
of a White Wulff.
It comes off this one.
Yeah.
And if you go in the drawer over there while I'm yapping, see if you can find the White Wulff. There might be one in the dry fly.
Roll again there, Scotty.
So you got that nice split upwing. Do. No, I bought them all. That's why I've resorted to tying. I think I went through them all last summer. We didn't have an awful lot of them.
Okay, we're going up.
That's it. That's all I got. So, I'm Boulder. Thanks for watching. Get this easy pattern whipped off. Put it in your box. Imitates a whole bunch of different insects that are found in both rivers and still water. You know, you got moths, you got mayflies, dunes. It can represent a whole bunch of different things. You can skitter them. You put a little bit of floating on it, and they stay up real nice. Trout like to smash them hard. So fill up your box, give it a try. It's Friday Night Flies. Check us out in a couple minutes because we're going to be back with some more videos tonight.